Man, I used to always say the world ain't ready for another me if I was a man. Here he go. God said, bet. Say less.
They say your kids every now and then.
He got long hair and shit.
Oh, yeah. That was a topic of contention with the guy I was trying to talk to. Wanted to talk to me about how his hair too long. I was like, you're an idiot.
That
bye.
shit cold. I fuck with that though.
My son hair is curly and long, and he love it. You can't tell him shit about his hair.
Like baby Tarzan.
Dead ass look like Tarzan. I get that all the time.
I had to cut Dominic shit, bro.
Nah, dog. Let that shit.
We still ain't come. His shit was wild.
Your son found his eyes, dog. Are that.
The baby?
Yeah, dog. I was like, dog.
That's how Dominic shit was, though.
Do it would die down?
Yeah, his shit went. His shit like a light brown, but dude's like gray and green and shit.
Yeah. That shit crazy.
My son's is like golden.
Yeah, that's how Dominic shit like super light brown now.
Oh, there you go.
What up, Seth? I ain't see. Ooh, what's happening, baby?
Look at him, late. $25. like James Brown said.
That's my son.
You said 8:30. It's 8:40.
It's 8:40.
10 minutes like.
Look, that's my son.
You said you got a 15-minute grace period.
That's my son.
Nah, that's on crit. That's on crit.
Anybody want? I mean, if y'all want to shoot the fade for my 10.
He said y'all want to shoot the fade. Hold on.
All right,
I
mean,
I got you turned way hard.
Not really.
What's happening, Seth? I ain't seen you forever,
I know,
baby.
Sugarfoot. How you been?
Hey, why is it bro? Seth loud as shit.
Yeah, bro. I gotta.
No, like your mic is loud.
Your mic on.
It's been
And
years.
I'm far as a bitch. I know. You don't love me like you say you do.
Listen, I'm back in the mill.
Oh, what?
I work. It's cracking. Listen. It's go mode now.
No.
I mean, I don't kick it like I used to, but you know.
No.
Better have
it fifth.
Listen, the hoes still love me, so that's all that matters.
I know you got some crown.
But you know.
You got some crown.
He got us on timeout, though. He said he got a serious squad first.
He said we gotta do a serious one first.
Oh, I'm with that.
And then we can get to the shits.
I know. Then we can get to the shits towards the end.
He said no drinking to the end.
Anybody?
Look, the camera is rolling.
Dude, we need to edit already. Dude, we need to edit already.
You need to edit already. So you trying to
I didn't know y'all. I didn't know if y'all had cups. I brought mine.
I got some. There's some back there.
I got that bag full.
Case.
I just put them on the table.
Fam, could you grab a cup for us, please?
How many we need?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I need one.
The AC.
You don't need one?
They do need to drop one. For sure.
6.
I know. I don't need no. Actually, you know I do need a cup.
Look at it, fam. What is your long, fam? I told you the camera's running, fam. Both of y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Y'all trying to get me indicted.
I mean, so I'm trying to get it cracking. Don't blame us.
I just watched the DeLorean shit, dog. That's what y'all on.
I mean, set the hookah, slide it my way.
You said something about paywall.
You can set it up and pod at the same time.
When are y'all gonna get a paywall? Because I'm here for the shit.
No,
that's when we gonna get to the bitches.
Yeah,
That's when we need to get to the bitches.
The bitches want going behind the paywall.
Because, man, I'm to the point where y'all need to change it to 72 and washed. Because, like, for real.
Don't do that.
I need to change y'all to 72 and washed.
No, y'all
Don't do that.
Y'all hiding now. The elevator music have you rolling, bro.
I was working, cracking up, talking about the elevator music. I couldn't even take it.
Check Seth. Seth don't use headphones.
I don't use mine.
Seth don't use headphones.
He a real
Come closer to the mic,
podcaster.
Seth. Say something.
Wait, we fake pod?
Real nigga activity.
No, I'm just messing with you. I mean, if you took it personal, the shoe fit.
I know, I'm just asking. I was wondering.
That's mine.
If the
I
shoe
put it
fit,
under
you
there
gonna
for the
wear it.
cleaners, yeah. So you can get it towards the towards your mouth. Hey, turn
It's
turn
clear
number
as
one
day.
up just a
If it
little
fit,
bit.
wear it.
Number one.
You said nah.
Just a
That's
smidgen.
not clear.
Now say something in the mic.
Nah, but maybe.
Yeah, better. Yeah. Perfect.
See, I trust my producer levels. Like when he say turn it up, you know what I'm talking about? Niggas just gotta turn it the fuck up.
You ain't wrong.
I don't think I potted with a lot of you niggas in a minute.
That's why everybody
Hey,
is.
we ain't potted for since our first year.
Since downtown studio.
Yeah.
I had to come in there talking shit.
Nah.
You was
on bullshit.
I smoked niggas. Though.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
I walked on y'all shit.
You did not.
I walked. Hey, I done walked on water 10 toes.
You did not, sir.
I was smoking shit like nigga. I had you in there rethinking yourself.
No, you know what I'm saying? Being loud, bro. Being loud.
But my points was crazy.
That's all he be.
Loud and right, two different things.
I don't even get loud on pods like that. Are you serious?
Nigga, you walk in.
You allowed. You allowed.
Excuse me, sir. Wait, time out. What we not gonna do? I'm not gonna get disrespected by this nigga. The loudest nigga I've ever met. Like the loudest nigga in the room. I'm never gonna get disrespected by that.
He's on that separate channel.
Okay, cool.
He don't need to. Everybody know he got to be on the separate channel.
Like he lost weight.
I got this, sir. I've been through that. He got his own template.
Tim done lost weight. He growing in his.
You do look a little skinny.
Yeah, bro. You growing your poetry beard is weird.
I'm getting my shit cut.
Well, I'm keeping this Darius.
Yeah, I'm
going on his love John shit.
Raphael Daylight. That's
I still to this day like, how old are you? I'm like 32. Damn, that you 32? Like,
yeah.
Trying to look my age.
Cause you're y'all. This is
I can't grow one.
Everyday podcast. I think this is going to be episode 12. I think so. Cause I got one with Tony in the tuck.
Then it's 13.
Yeah, it's 13.
If you drop a Tony before this one, then it's 13.
Okay, 13 then.
I've been paying attention.
Okay.
I mean, I just listened to it today.
I appreciate that.
Number one.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Look at that. I hate this nigga.
Hey, weird flex, but a flex nonetheless.
Hey, you got it.
So you said episode point. He said this episode 13.
Where your bell?
No, we got
it's over there.
Bro.
Damn, bro, it's torture.
Hey, that's something, Hey, I've been straight, really. I ain't really caught no bells in a minute.
Damn.
You ain't catch no bell until you came back.
Yeah, they've been doing this since episode 2.
They
like, we actually got like a legit big ass brass bell over there.
They already timing you out.
It's a whole hotel.
Every time we say a stat that's wrong,
Tim Stats.
they hit on with the bell.
Yeah, but they ain't got no bells.
Flexing your shit.
No, he ain't had no bells until they came back into the office. Like until they came back in studio.
That's true.
I feel like he's trying to call you dumb person.
I'm saying he hasn't had the bell. He
said you called him
dumb person. Like you trying to say that? Like nigga, like hey, when we came back in, all of a sudden
when they get together, like I think it was just different because the way we nigga they did it a whole year on Zoom.
The entire year.
I
give it all to y'all. Like y'all really, all of y'all that do it through the pandemic and do Zoom. Listen, I couldn't do 10 minutes on a conference call without being like, fuck this shit.
There was no sports. We're a sports podcast.
They did a whole year.
During the pandemic, still every week we put out an episode.
That's dedication because I would have been through the flag.
That was one of the reasons why he didn't get because there really wasn't no stats. He said
the 2K option.
Exactly.
Can't get a bell.
I ain't got to recall.
H. Kane, I know you one of the newer Potters, but hop in here anytime, bro. Like, you gotta talk, bro. Don't
I'm gonna introduce everybody. This is the everyday episode. You said episode 13?
Yes, sir.
12.
And I have a bunch of people in the building, a bunch of Potters, and I got Yaya, who has been around potting since she's been around us since the beginning.
Like the beginning. I
was episode 2.
I was one of the ones on the mattress sitting there trying to pod with boxes.
At least you know she ain't gonna meet
I just want you all to know that are listening, everybody got a mic stand in here.
Ain't
no mic on a box right now. The glow up is real.
I appreciate that. How's everybody doing? I got a bunch of Potters, like I got Tim from Technical Files, Seth from Sweats and Suits, and then we got Dub and Nick is actually in the building. Like he ain't on the Zoom.
That was the most random text ever. Hey, I'm here.
No, the nigga called me the other day and he was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna be in Milwaukee tomorrow. I'm like, nigga, why?
No, this is like my third time. Like, why you pulling up here?
Why are you coming to Milwaukee tomorrow?
Just a pod, bro.
Just a pod.
What a flex.
And then we got
Just
H. Kane, who is a newer pod. His pod, No Limits. With
What's going on, everybody?
Hold on. I can't hear you now.
Oh yeah, bro.
Say something.
I can't hear. Chill. No, he ain't. H. Kane ain't here, man.
All right,
well, in case y'all didn't hear him, he said, chill. H. Kane.
Thanks for the recap, Seth.
Are we doing intros? Because
Bro, what is your?
Can y'all hear? Now I can.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah, you there.
Turn them shits up.
All the way.
Turn my headphones up.
Seth ain't got a headphone on, y'all, just so you know. I'm going to give y'all visuals for the listeners out there.
It's being recorded.
Yeah.
Not everybody going to watch it.
I just wanted to do a pod. I got a bunch of... I wanted to bring in a bunch of married people just to ask some questions, really. Just really to pick y'all brain.
Fair enough.
I just want to clarify, I am not married.
No, I know you're not married, but I wanted a woman's perspective, and I wanted somebody that I know could pod with, you know what I'm saying, the people that I
just want to know for the listeners,
yeah.
I am not married.
So you big single?
Right, here she go.
Tinder.
But you can send your hate mail to Dooch in advance.
And I just really wanted to really just pick y'all brain because I'm going through, I would say, like a rough patch.
For sure.
With in my relationship, and I just wanted to get some more insight. Okay, like when did y'all know that that's the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Oh,
that's a good one.
Like, are we talking like exact moment?
Yeah,
like what? Like it don't have to be like one moment, but what is the progression?
The light at the end of the tunnel that made you.
That solidified it. Okay.
Right. I mean, I know the exact moment, in all honesty. So I was on a shopping trip probably about 2016 or so with my wife and her family. And we were chilling. They rented a whole bus. It was a whole thing. And we were chilling, and then I was listening to Lupe Fiasco, Paris, Tokyo. I remember that.
Telling us my shit.
Yeah,
that is
my shit. So I was rapping out loud, and then, you know, she started finishing the lyrics. So I'm like, all right, nah, this is dope as fuck.
That was
like, honestly, like, that's the moment I knew. So.
I fuck with that.
For me, it was pretty kind of cut and clear. Like, I joined the military, so she was one of the biggest reasons why I was able to get in, because I had to jump through a whole bunch of hoops during the initial process of getting in, and she helped me through that. Then I was going to basic training the entire time. She wrote me every single day I was gone.
Damn.
I got a letter in the mail every single day while I was gone. Sometimes she put perfume on it. Sometimes she kissed it, because I couldn't get no pictures or anything like that because they took the pictures away. They took it. You can't get shit. So every single day I got a letter back from her, and I had to walk. And it was not even easy to get the letters out because they had a mail time, but you had to walk at some point to put the letter in the mailbox. So in order for me to actually get the letter off, I'm already kind of putting myself in the side of drill sergeants, and all they want to do is fuck with you anyways.
Right.
So it was always late at night, late there, it was like 6 o'clock or whatever like that. And we walk over there and walk back, but we were looking around for drill sergeants. So she was in the
military too?
No.
Oh, she was just riding.
She was just riding me back here because we was dating at the time. It was
that's lit.
We was going on a year. We was probably going on a year, and she helped me through all of that. And then she flew down when I graduated basic training, and she was there when I went to tech school for like a week. Like, she did a lot of shit for me while I was in the military. Like, just stability. Like mental stability. Because it's a mind fuck. 90% of it is mind fuck.
Yeah.
So she held me down, and she kept me sane, literally, for the most part. Because even, like, my mom didn't write every single day. I had friends that didn't write at all that gave the address to. It didn't even bother, but, you know.
I remember writing my nigga when they first went to basic training. Like, and they wrote me back. I got them somewhere in one of them boxes at my house and shit. But
she kept every letter too.
I used to try to hold my niggas down, fam. And they did it young. They did it like 18, 19, 20.
Yeah,
but that's a big feat though, because writing nowadays is like a lost art. You can't write. I mean, I can't find paper half the time in my house.
We've been together for 9 years now.
Dang.
How long were y'all together before you went to basic?
We hadn't hit a year yet.
He said almost a year.
Wow.
It was almost a year because we got engaged a week after I got back.
You just knew you had to put a ring on.
I left in February. I didn't get back home till October.
Yeah, right.
The whole time. So I was like, nah, she got to get this one. She got to get this one.
You saying that you caught it early, low-key.
Me personally, I met my girl. I'm not married yet. I'm damn near married. You can say I'm married. I do. I seriously do. We gonna get into everything, but honestly, my uncle got married to her cousin, and we were picked to walk down the aisle together in 2009.
Okay.
So I was trying to talk to her and shit, but she had a man, and I was just like, well, that nigga ain't here. Fuck him. What's up with me? Bro, she still wasn't going. She wasn't going, though. And then they broke up. They broke up. We started dating 2011. And we got 2 kids together. We've been on and off. We have our rough patches. We didn't hit real rough patches, courtesy of me. But we still kicking.
I love that.
Shout out to me.
Shout out to me, bro.
Chill out, man. I'm a part of it. I ain't gonna lie.
That's usually us.
No, so for me, my wife, we knew each other before we started dating. Mm-hmm. But like when we started to get serious about dating, I was in a real bad spot. I had just came out of a situation where I got in a bad accident. I had an OWI and all that shit on my record. My grandma had just passed. It was a bunch of shit going on. And she was just there, bro. Like she was just kind of there for support for me and shit. Mm-hmm. And no matter what the fuck I was going through at this time in my life, y'all know I'm a completely different person than I used to be.
Definitely.
I was that nigga. Mm-hmm. And she was just dealing with it. I was going out, I ain't get no fuck about nothing. I was fighting niggas, threatening niggas, doing crazy shit,
being very Milwaukee.
Real dub shit.
Born and bred.
Real dub shit.
For real. On some real shit. If y'all didn't know me before now, bro, you know what I'm saying?
I've been knew you,
wild boy.
I was doing some other shit, and she was just always solid with me, and kind of stuck around with me, trying to help me, not just there for the bullshit, but really trying to help me get better with shit, because she knew I was going through a bunch of shit. And then my grandma died, and she was there with me for that shit.
Yeah.
And something clicked in my mind. I was just nah, I'm here.
Seth,
awesome.
you wanna?
Yeah, I got you, G. I ain't got no cute ass story like y'all got. We was together for a minute, and I just realized that she wasn't really going for my bullshit. I couldn't really.
You need somebody that
I couldn't pull the wool over her eyes.
Yeah.
Just talk my way out of bullshit. If I was on bullshit, she stood on it. So I was all right, I'll fuck with you.
I mean, sometimes you need that reality check.
No, because I didn't talk my way out of.
right.
I didn't talk my way out of clear wrong. I was just you're not the one for me. You let me get up out of there. I shouldn't have made it up out that jam.
No, that's a fact.
I got caught dead to rights and sat there. A day later, she was apologizing. My bad. I'm like. Eric can attest to it. He looked at me on the phone one day. I was like, "Yo, I don't know how you just got up out of there, but congrats." I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, I don't know either. I wasn't supposed
Skated
to."
on ice.
I mean, that's a
right
to
through.
recognize that early too.
Oh yeah, man. I knew I was on bullshit. But when you know you're on bullshit, and you know
when you on
I
bullshit.
mean, you don't care, right?
So y'all know? Do y'all know
What?
when niggas be on bullshit?
Of course. I mean, we always know. But 95% of the time, we just gonna close our eyes to it because we think it's gonna get better. Or you're gonna change for us. We gonna be the one.
No, y'all not.
And exactly.
If we not done it, so we done.
If we catch you up in a jam and you ain't how Seth said, okay, I'm calling out on your shit, and being okay, you caught me, and moving forward, and we let that slide, it's because we wanted to.
You accept it. That's what basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the times women have this fantasy built in their head about how things are supposed to be and how they're gonna go and the trajectory that you guys are on. So they'll let that shit slide and slide and slide and slide until they crash into a fucking wall.
True.
And that's super real because in those moments, it was plenty of moments where it was just I don't everybody seemed like they had their moment or they knew, whatever. I think ultimately you have that final moment, but there are a collection of moments that lead up to it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And sometimes you're forced into moments, you know what I'm saying? She was forced to live with us earlier than I ever probably wanted to move in with a chick. But you know what I'm saying? It was all right, based on the situation, let's figure this shit out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? You wouldn't have let some other bitch that was letting you slide do that shit.
No, I mean,
you low key, you said, the little moments that added up, you kind of already felt different about this one versus the last 100 bitches.
Because it's you know what I'm saying? If you find yourself wanting to be there and wanting to look out and wanting, when you start putting her wants, that's when you know, all right, what does she want versus what I want?
Right.
Yeah.
And you start carrying.
You start weighing the options.
That, because it's you for a long time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you get with somebody, and then it's you, them.
Maybe.
You,
Maybe.
them. Yeah. And then, once their, wants or seeing them happy outweighs your own, and their mood starts affecting your mood, you in a situation where that can be real.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I hate that.
I think
That's
to kind of go along with what you're saying, like with, like sometimes you forcing the shit a little bit. Like in my situation, like yeah, it was nice and like we made the decision and shit, but like also like she had a daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like before I even got in that relationship, I had to be like y'all know I work with kids, bro. Like, and I don't take that shit light. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I got to be in this person's life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, and if I'm about to be in this person's life, I'm there.
Yeah.
So,
and as a woman, I mean, that's impactful, right? For two reasons. Like me as a single woman that didn't have kids, I wouldn't date guys that had kids, not because there's that stigma around dating people with children, but because I didn't want to come and disrupt someone's life and then that situation not be permanent or serious, and then I disrupt their life again by removing myself. So I was always very conscious and aware of that, but then also when you come into a situation where you have a child and a man doesn't respect that, because I just had that situation happen where they were like already trying to meet my child. I'm like, we just been talking for like 2 weeks. No, sir, no thank you. And they got very upset and tried to take it to the left, like, oh, you just don't want him to tell his dad that you talking to other. And I was like, no, absolutely not. What I got going on has no bearings on his father. But I don't know you, my guy. Exactly. And you're definitely not going to know my child. Like, you can't come in and out of people's life because of the disruption.
You got to watch that from some niggas. Some niggas be trying to use the kid to try to hurry up and speed up the process to get with a woman. Because, I see you so good with my child. That's going to make me want to,
See, I think guys are weirdos that do that.
That's definitely weirdo vibes. That's weirdo vibes. Like, complete.
That's big creep. But that's also on you to make sure.
You still do have to make a connection with that child for the,
and that's at a time, right? Because
like, you gotta let you have to let it.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a big thing about like whether or not you around like if you the second you start being around that child, you have to make that connection.
Right.
No, you have to start trying to make that connection.
Yeah. Especially if you're taking that person serious. You know what I mean? Because that disruption is huge, right? Man, like your mother goes from just being your mom to being your mom and someone's girlfriend who you've never had an experience of them, being around.
Man, if I didn't have no interest in like the chick for real and I was just trying to beat, I didn't want to meet her kids.
Right, exactly.
That's real.
That's so weird to me when they want to.
That put me in a weird spot now.
I snuck out a bitch crib one day because I'm like, no kid here? Oh no.
Yes.
Because I start feeling like, hey, don't do that to me because I'm not here for long. Like, I'm beaten a few times, and I'm out.
That's real.
Again, everybody's not like that.
Yeah, like hey, this is an in and out situation. Like I don't need to. I don't like because first of all, I can only imagine what a kid is thinking. Like, I don't want him to feel like his mama a hoe. She might be, but that ain't his business right now.
Right.
And I don't want to be the one that he remember years later. Like, yo, I saw you come.
I saw you coming up out my crib.
Yeah, like,
because to me, like, I think that like my son only thinks like I'm one person, his mom, period. No one else. I don't have a life outside of what I do for him as a mom. And when you start introducing other people, if it's not serious, then they're gonna start seeing you as a different person. And to me, I don't want my son to look at me more than anything than his mom. You know what I mean? At least right now. So, to his point, like, I definitely wouldn't be able to have someone in my life if I didn't know it was serious because of that reason.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, I think with my significant other, when I had a child, my oldest son, who's 13 now, their relationship was everything to me too, and that's another thing that led me to be like, okay, I can see this working out long term.
She connected with him.
Yeah, instantly. Like, we started talking February. She had never met my son, but their chemistry was everything. And then shit, like 4 months later, she was pregnant already. So I was like, oh yeah, you're not going nowhere.
I got a good ass question. Now we talking about a situation. We're all men, so we're talking about a situation of meeting a woman's child. Like, as a guy, is like, are you more inclined to introduce a chick to your kids?
See,
because I know the situation with women is like, I want you to meet my kid because of this. Like, I'm not ready. But for a guy, how do y'all feel about that?
I did it.
I was the same here.
Because if my child really ain't vibing with you, then it's gonna be.
How long did you guys wait though?
Not like that.
How long did
I'm sorry, it was opposite for me.
Okay.
You did it right away.
Okay.
I did not. None of the women that I've dated, unless we were actually together for more than like a couple, my last couple of relationships were years. So none of the women that I introduced my kids to, I did not date long term.
Okay.
So nobody I was just banging met my daughters.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And I made it that way because I personally did not want to allow anybody that I didn't really want to fuck with it that long anyway. I didn't see most people that I met anyways long term. So I'm not going to bring her or them around them when I don't even know if I'm going to like her like that.
Yeah, I'm very guarded of my kid. My son, he was my only child, so I'm very guarded of him too.
Yeah, how long did it take you to introduce your wife to your child?
She probably met Tyler probably 2 months within us dating. But we had been around. We was really trying to establish us. Like we had chemistry walking down the aisle together, and it was something there. She just had a man, and then that following year, 2010, Valentine's Day, he hit her with the "Oh baby, I gotta work late." So she said she called to tell him, Happy Valentine's Day. A chick answered the phone like, "Oh, we on our way out of town." That's my man. We didn't need that.
Bro, you stole a nigga bitch, and now you trying to make it seem like because he fucked up, you stole his bitch. Nah, bro. You was already stealing his bitch. You was already in the process of stealing his bitch.
He said you
set the play up already.
He did.
We stopped talking. We weren't constantly talking. You know, it would be me BBMing her. Remember Blackberry? I would BBM her.
I don't believe it. When nobody BBM.
But it's a two-way street. Like she gotta be able to take it.
I'm too young to know about BBM. Since he said nobody was BBM.
No, I said wasn't nobody BBMing nothing that they wasn't trying to do nothing with.
That's what I said. That was the original emoji.
I had. I'm not that young.
The original emojis. What?
They was the sneaky links for sure. Blackberry used to be locked down. Couldn't nobody get into her.
Asking the bitch for a BBM code. He's a freaky ass.
That was it.
Hey, baby, hey. I see you got a Blackberry. What's your BBM though?
What was freakier when she knew it off the rip?
When she ain't had to look it up, she was just like,
when she was, you knew she was giving it up.
Oh, these memorized.
It's like, you get that out a lot, huh?
Right, that's like that's wild, bro.
How did y'all get through the rough patches?
Oh shit!
So here's a question.
On the rough patch, I would say.
Which one?
I would say depends on the rough patch.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
The roughest one.
Because I thought about it when you said something earlier and it made me think of a question. What? So I said honestly.
You asking everybody?
Yeah, I'm asking everybody. Honestly, most of the arguments that you have are just literally a simple lack of communication.
I agree.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I agree.
But in those situations, how often is it actually your fault?
Now that's you're asking a different question now.
That's the question because a lot of us don't want to look at ourselves and say where we started. When we have an issue, typically I'll see where it started with me. Like in the moment you'll argue and things, but when I will go back and replay the issue because I want to make sure that we have an understanding at the end of it. I'll start with me. Where did I fuck up at to start this issue? Did I fuck up or did she fuck up?
I'm about to be real honest with you. Majority of the arguments are my fault based on her expectations.
Yes.
So based on what she's expecting or what she wants from me.
Come on, man.
Yes. My fault.
You know how to pie.
My bad. I apologize. I'm also doing this. My bad. I got a lot on my mind, bro. I do got the pie here. Yes, I do pie.
My fault. You triggered.
I am triggered, bro. Like, don't ever tell me I'm on pie, nigga. But like I was saying that a lot of that should be my fault based on her expectations. She's like, women have shit, and this is not to say all women, but most women have shit. I want it like this. This is how it should be done.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she's a fucking drill sergeant on it, but it's like I want what I want from A to B.
In a particular order.
In a particular order.
Yeah. The way she would do it.
I'm a typical nigga though. It'll get to be when I say it get there.
Yeah.
So because of that timeline, most of the arguments come from timeline in my house. It's not necessarily the act of it because I get it done. It's the timeline at which I do it.
Do you leave everything vague as far as time goes?
I'm very yes, I'm not precise.
Hell yeah.
But see, the problem. But because of that, I don't. That's why I'm vague because I don't want to give you that expectation of time. I don't want to tell you I'm going to do it at 5 o'clock because you know what? It may be 6:03.
But is that how fair is that?
4:59 would be like
I mean, I'm not saying I said I was wrong, so it's not fair.
I feel like it's kind of fair if it gets done.
No, I'm asking how fair it because
but that's nigga logic.
Right, but that's what I'm saying because why it goes back to communication. Okay. Because she's expecting, if you say, because we can all bullshit a time frame or whatever. So like, hey, can you do the dishes? All right, I'm gonna knock them out.
Yeah.
Like you said, she thinking it's gonna be right away.
But she thinking it's at 7
when dinner done. Before I go to bed.
Listen, all bullshit aside, the reason that we get upset about that shit is because we could have just done it ourselves. But we're asking for we're asking you to alleviate something off our plate so we can get something else done.
Okay, that's fine, but let me do it on my pace.
No. We're asking you to do it because otherwise I could have just took care of that shit. As a woman and I'm running a household, especially if we're in a serious relationship, I'm thinking 3 or 4, 5 different things I need to get taken care of and that I need to go ahead and get to. So if I ask you to do the dishes, it's because I'm probably gonna fold the laundry. So if you up here telling me that you finna do the dishes and I come back from folding the laundry and the dishes still not done, I might as well have gotten them done. The reason that majority of us have that expectation and that timeline is because we also want to be efficient. What you guys don't think about and understand is the faster we get shit done, the more time I get to spend with you. And at the end of the day, I really just want to come and spend some time with you and not have to worry about the fucking dishes being loaded in the dishwasher.
I fuck with everything you just said, right?
Okay, hit me with the butt. Go ahead.
It ain't no but. The question should be, can you do the dishes now? Like,
but if I ask, I shouldn't have to put a timeline on it. If I
if I wanted it later, can you do the dishes? Yes, I can do the dishes when I get to it.
But he said,
I feel like long as you don't wake up in the morning with dirty dishes, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I'll get to it.
I am not shutting the fuck up about dishes.
See what I'm saying?
No, because they start to stink.
What are you doing now?
They start to stink.
Niggas be leaving them to the morning.
I wanted them niggas we get into it all the time. Like,
niggas be leaving.
That's your fault. My black ass. I get more mad at myself. I'm sorry. I get more mad at myself because it'd be like 10:30 and I'd be like, fuck, I said I was gonna do this. Now I'm in the kitchen like this.
I be doing that shit like tired as a bitch like that night.
Some niggas leave them in there and then they end up having to do them anyways.
Then you guys want to come at like 10:30, 11 o'clock tapping me on the shoulder. They're trying to beat like my guy. You could be an hour and a half ago if you would have done the fucking dishes and you weren't standing there in the kitchen doing them. I'm asleep now. You don't just finesse yourself out of some fucking pussy. Like,
no, you taking a nap. That's what you do. You taking a nap. Wake your ass up.
I'm sleep now.
No, you ain't.
I'm in RAM.
But here's my question. Tell me
they fake sleep.
Right. They fake sleep like they just on TikTok.
I'm into my show now, like, bro.
I turn it.
But no, here's another question though. So is it fair for you to feel like because you're cleaning, I should clean too?
Yeah,
if
you knew that going in that I was a very clean person, and this is a very hot topic for me because my last relationship ended because of this shit.
And this is your business.
And this is my business. I do cleaning for a living because that's generally my shit.
Right.
If you and I are getting in a relationship and you know from Jump Street that's a topic of contention for me, I need you to be on it or not be in it. You understand what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Don't be in this relationship if you're not going to be on it or being willing to cooperate in that circle or in that space. Don't take up space where you're not really like dedicated to things that are important to me. Because you know what I don't give a fuck about? That game. But if you're going to watch that game and I ain't got nothing else to do, baby, let's go watch that game together. But I don't want to because I don't give a shit about what the Bucks is doing.
But see, that's not fair. Wait, that's not fair because if you can say that you don't give a shit about something that he truly cares about, but you expect him to truly give a shit about something you care about.
Right.
Granted, cleanliness is next to godliness. I get that. But no, because she's saying she's a neat freak. So I get it.
What I'm saying is if you're going to jump into this relationship and it's important to me, if something is important to you, I'm going to make time. I'm going to make time and I'm going to make effort, which is the difference.
We talking about two completely different things. Cleaning is a necessity.
Right.
A game ain't.
No,
she don't have to be interested.
What I was finishing is that
hey, bro, don't tell me my game ain't necessary.
every time you clean, do you feel as though he should be cleaning with you? Because in our household, yours is different. In my household, just because you're cleaning doesn't mean I need to be cleaning at the exact same time. Because both of us got
both
of
you
us
to clean
worked.
something while I'm cleaning something, I
expect
you to do
using
it.
that time to relax.
So there's a two different. Not even that, because sometimes I'll get in the mood that I want to clean shit, but I don't expect you to get your ass up just because I feel like cleaning.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is where routines come into play. Like if you understand that after dinner I want the dishes done, and we have that agreement because of XYZ, I got something else to do.
Well, how do y'all establish routines?
And that comes from communication. It goes back to your conversation. You have to have that conversation. So that's where my beginning point is don't get in this knowing that I am the neat person that I am and I like things, to be orderly, if you're not really about the shit,
But you
to
let that be
communicate
known
that.
out the gate, though.
Right. I mean,
So
I have a whole
because
cleaning
some
company.
people don't
Hell
have
yeah.
conversations out the gate. Like, I like you to clean. Like, we have.
they don't communicate
We
that.
argue now over simple things, just like,
we don't fucking argue.
like she worked from home. She worked from home.
Yeah.
I'm not mindful. Like, I work at a warehouse. 12 hours a day, I bust my ass.
Yeah.
You sit on a laptop and you watch YouTube shit in
That's
between
what I'm
doing
saying.
work.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What I'm saying.
Don't do that.
Hold on, let me make my point. Let me make my point.
Let me finish.
Okay, let me make my point though. So I go to work and I bust my ass. So my thing
She
is,
busting her
if
ass too, fam.
you're moving medical files, I'm not saying I don't take for granted what she does, but it's not harder than what I do.
No, it's
I
not
leave
physically.
No,
hard.
physically. That's what I'm saying. You have more time to do other things.
It's mentally draining.
No, mentally draining is a different
what I'm
monster.
saying.
Listen,
I had a blue collar job.
I do physical work now, but before this, I did, behind the desk type of work, and that is a whole different level of type of exhaustion.
It's mental.
It's
fam. Like,
mental.
like,
I don't. When I log off, I don't want to see anything,
You don't
hear
even wanna look at the
anything. I
computer,
don't want
fam.
no one talking to me.
You don't look at the TV.
I want to sit in silence half the time.
So it's different because yours is physical. And
Yeah.
I
And I
understand
get
that
that,
because I do
100.
it.
Because when I come home, I'm tired.
Yeah,
My
I
thing is, you
understand
done
that.
sat there, you done watched Girlfriends on Netflix. You didn't have time to do these things that you're bitching at me about doing.
Yeah.
But
But why should I have to do
Right.
everything in the household just because I'm there?
Let's flip that.
Did you not
That
eat?
don't-
Did you not take a shit? Did you not shower in this house too?
Now, that's true.
Bro, but
That's
I'm
true.
just
But all
saying.
other things,
I mean, if you did all that in this house,
crazy.
As a kid, working from home isn't necessarily an advantage
is
of.
that an advantage over anything?
No, because the mental. The mental fortitude it takes to deal with people on a daily basis. Now, mind you are not physically able to go and ask and tap somebody on the shoulder and say, hey, let me get this problem solved in 2 seconds. You have to wait on an email that you got 10 other people asking you the No, wait.
But
you
you're
got
trying
10
to
other
get something
people
done, though.
asking you the
Like,
same question.
and on
That's
top
like-
of that, you got
you know what that
15
is? That's
unnecessary conference calls that could have been emails.
Could have been. So
Time
now
out.
you wasted an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Time out, though. Let me say something.
That's like you pulled up to a what's the name and they ain't had the shit ready for you. They still.
I get that, but let me help Kane out. Kane,
So now let me say that. So I'm just looking. Go ahead.
I got you, bro.
I'm sorry.
I got you, brother.
No, you good.
So I get what y'all are saying, and there's an episode of The Office that explains this.
No, I know
Very
it is.
well.
I know it is.
Yeah, there are dangers of The Office.
There is.
There are, you sit down too long, you can get a cramp.
Fam.
You can get carpal tunnel.
Fam.
Yeah, no, hold on.
I legit
serious
had special
things.
glasses
See,
to look at
that's the
screen all
problem. You're
day.
taking this offensively, but I'm
not
telling you,
taking it
there's
offensively. He's one of those people.
there are
He's one of those
different. There's different physicalities.
Yeah.
So when I say that, yes, you're sitting at a computer, you have the luxury of still being at home. You have the luxury of not
That shit
getting
is
dressed.
monotonous.
You
Nah, that
have
shit
the
is-
luxury of not being in the sun trying to deliver a big ass package that may
But
be a
you
little
are-
too overpriced.
But you get to,
oversized.
But you get to get out and be with
And
people.
social.
fam.
But
And
fuck.
you get
But
to
see, here's the
meet
thing.
people.
Here's the thing, though.
Listen.
This is what you.
And-
This
and
She
is
never
right.
interacted with people. She do medical records. She don't talk to people.
But my
She
thing
move them
is,
into a
my
That's
thing
not-
is,
it's
but check this out.
monotonous,
You
though.
can,
It's so
but check this out. You
monotonous.
can, just because it's not face to face. The same way that y'all are trying to say that the work is the same, the communication is the same. You can still sit at home. Nobody's over your shoulder worried about a text message. You're not on the road driving by yourself. Stop it, because none of y'all are driving over the road by yourself. Who
But
can
you
fall
just
asleep
said
behind
you're
that
not-
thing?
You said they not hovering over your shoulder waiting on a text message.
And they
No,
are.
They are.
They
They
are.
No, I'm talking
That's
about.
why you're trying
I'm
to get
talking.
something
No,
done, and
no,
you-
Because
I'm not.
they
I'm
need you
talking
logged in
about
on Teams, and
personal
if your
text
blue light
messages.
ain't
If I
green-
text you while you at work on your computer, ain't no boss to say stop that personal text.
Yeah.
If you got to step away from, if you got to cut your camera off to take a phone call, there's nobody. That's what I'm saying.
But you have the luxury of not being a prisoner to your own home.
But I have the.
When
But
when
I'm
you're
a prisoner to my own
stay-at-home
truck.
worker,
You're not a prisoner. Come on,
to
you're not a prisoner to your own
But you
workspace.
get out of your
You're not a
truck.
prisoner.
Hey,
Like this.
hey, but Sam,
This
you
is
get
what
out
I
of
know.
your-
But she
But
has
I
no
don't-
relax
If I'ma let
time.
if I'ma
She
let
goes
y'all
home.
cook, this is what I'm saying. The same way y'all are saying prisoners to space.
You get out of your truck and go to your home.
You gotta
don't leave home.
That's
work.
So,
But
like
when you get off,
you can't work. That's why.
Let me
so
explain to you
are y'all
something.
saying this based on the fact that y'all have kids too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
that's
all.
I'm
include.
saying it based on the fact that I do the shit.
Like,
Because but when you clock out, I mean, what's stopping y'all
still
from
at
going?
home.
But
You
what's
clock
stopping
out,
y'all?
it's the same
But you're
space.
talking about stepping outside. What's to
it's
stop
the
y'all
same-
from going?
But
in?
they're at work.
I can tell you, but so wait.
Yo, I was great. You can leave and go get lunch.
So
Let me
I
tell you.
feel I actually feel Seth and H came because like I came from manufacturing, right? So my first role I was a manufacturing engineer. I'm on the floor like 70% of the time, 11-hour days.
I'm with y'all, fam.
Yeah, but then now I'm working from home. Like now I'm working from home. So it depends on your personality type.
So-
if you're an introvert, like me working from home, that shit's lovely. I fucking love it. Like, bro, I don't want to see nobody. Like I can like scream my
But
calls.
these people,
Yeah, but my wife,
extrovert friend,
she was working from home, and she didn't
Hate
like
it.
it because she didn't have anybody to talk
Talking about,
to.
you want to know what's
Yeah.
funny
Like
about
it's a
this?
different beast.
We would love to be in the house, and the people at home want to be out.
But that's the thing. I'm not a person.
I'll tell you this. I did both just in this year.
Ditto.
I've done
That's
both.
what I'm saying. I did both.
Same here.
And
I did too. I left
I-
Kohl's to go to the warehouse.
Yeah.
I went from being in a very corporate job, you know, at the paper company, doing what I needed to do.
Dunder
Being
Mifflin?
Huh?
Dunder Mifflin?
That paper company. Yeah.
Y'all ain't
Yeah.
Y'all office. Oh, okay, one nigga.
But then I started my own company.
This nigga.
But then I started my own company where I'm outside and I'm doing physical labor, like I'm cleaning buildings and houses and that kind of thing. I enjoyed that way more than I enjoy being at the house all day.
you build the house.
Not because I'm an extrovert or an introvert, but it was just the
being-
luxury of being able to be outside,
leave. Get
interact,
that fresh
leave,
air,
and come
man.
back. It got to the point where my son was going stir crazy just being at the house. He would be like, "Let's go for a walk." I'm like, "Baby, it's winter. Like, where we gonna go?"
You wake up in the house.
Now that I think about it, bro, maybe it is the kids, bro. It's the kids.
And you know, I clean a lot of houses for people
it's
who
the
have
kids.
lost their absolute mind. I go to their house is like
Shattered.
run down. They have no desire to clean. Like the mental health aspect of it does come into play to some of the relationship
like
issues
that,
that you
fam.
guys may be seeing. Back to H. Kane, I think's original conversation, which was being at home all day. You feel like she should be doing it, but she feels like she's a prisoner in her own home.
It's not necessarily she should be doing it, but help me help you. If I'm working 12 hours in a warehouse and you're at home, the time that you sit across the bed, you taking naps, I'm off the server, things like that. She don't deal with people. That's fine, but it's mostly it's a lot of
That
that.
mental
But then
drain,
she do
bro.
throw in the kids. She got the kids at home, so she like that's working.
They
the
do
same
homeschool?
time.
Question. Because my wife be at home with the kids and they fuck her up. So and she don't
trying to work.
She not even working. She just at home with them little motherfuckers.
Hold up. So when we say like
Right now,
she laying across the bed. Hold up.
Right now.
That might be her break for mental
So when
health
we
reasons for
saying-
herself,
When
though.
we saying that she laying across the bed, like taking a nap or whatever, what do you do on your breaks?
Shit, I
What do
work.
So
I work on my break. I don't really.
So
I
you
really
don't expect her to
break.
take a
that by
break
choice?
from work.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
No,
You don't-
it's not by choice. My
Like,
job is very.
So what if like her
demanding.
laying across the bed is a break from work, fam?
No,
That's
she
what that
lays
is,
across
bro.
the bed doing work, and then she's on the phone having
Well,
conversations.
you mad at her
and things
for
like-
how she sitting? She
No,
working?
I'm saying, bro, you taking it completely wrong. My thing is, don't bitch and complain at me when you have time to help me help you. If you have this alternate time, instead of being on the phone, gossiping, doing all this stuff,
But that's
you
for
can
her.
be doing things.
She's doing her.
That's her break.
That's her break.
so
She's
let me-
doing
so
her
You
thing.
telling her how she should have a break?
No, not
That's what I'm
necessarily
saying.
telling her how she should have her break.
you
I get what you said.
You're complaining
No, I get
about
what he said.
chores being done when you can be doing
How?
those.
It goes back
Somebody
to my
know.
original point. Did you not take a shit in this toilet?
Wait a minute.
Did you-
Wait, real quick. So,
Like, help us help each other.
what he's saying is that, well, what he feels is that because your work isn't truly 100% labor and it's more mental, and the times that you take your breaks, you could be doing something physically. But
No, that mental shit
you
is
can't do
family.
But
That shit is
the
draining.
mental game with those corporate jobs, yeah, she's moving medical
shit
files, but if she moves one to the wrong person, that's HIPAA laws.
Yeah.
Bro.
You have to be meticulous with that shit to the point where
shit
you could
is-
get sued for millions.
I have a question
And
though for
millions.
H. Kane. What if she was outside of the house doing the same thing and she was able to just be on her phone at the office? Would you feel the same? Or is it the fact that you know that she's sitting on the bed
It's
on her
because
time?
I'm there until 1 o'clock most of the times, and I know what's going
Why,
on.
why aren't you helping between the hours of you when you wake up till 1?
He sleep.
I mean,
help me help you now.
No. When I'm there at home, no bullshit. In the morning, I'm the one that drops the kids off at daycare.
Okay.
I do all of that stuff.
That's valid.
I'm the one that pays the bills.
Listen, don't play the pay game. Don't play the pay game with me.
This is what I'm saying. I do a lot of the big things. I do the underlying things too. The things.
No, we'll go
it's
back
not
to the.
about money. I don't mind paying the bill. I'm not saying it like I care about paying the bill.
Can I say something? I was H. Kane. I know exactly.
No, and I know what he feels like because that was my son's father. He felt that way.
It's coming from the same place. Like it is. He's not saying that she's not doing her part. He's just saying that he feels like, and again, this was my mentality.
His perspective, yeah.
From my mentality, if I work 13 hours, right, you're at home with the kids. In my mind, that sounds sweeter.
Yeah,
it's not. Than doing the fucking work. Now, what had to change in me was realizing that job never cuts off.
Never.
Come on, man.
She's always a mother. They're gonna always go to her first. Even when I come home, it's mom. And it's like you see it, but as a man in your mind, you're thinking, well, shit, you ain't gotta pay no bills. I'm taking care of the major shit that needs to get done.
Yeah.
So in your mind, it's her job, her castle. Now, what I struggle with is I need to be told what to do.
Me too.
Under this roof, you the queen. I'm just
let's talk about
treat me
schedules.
like the king, but tell me what the fuck to do.
Well, here's the thing.
Because if you leave this house, I'm not gonna do shit if you don't tell me to have something done.
Okay, so that was a situation for me too. But we got a schedule on the refrigerator, a magnetic schedule.
Fuck a schedule. You gotta look at me.
And there's a side on the side that says notes, right? And we learned, we communicated to one another, and we decided that a note section is things that need to be done around the house. And we decided to say, hey, I'm gonna tackle X, Y, and Z. I mean, we had a huge house, so it was like, you tackle these 2 bathrooms, I'll tackle the bottom 2 bathrooms, and then on the 3rd floor, we gonna go ahead and join together. And that type of conversation also includes a timeline. Unfortunately for you fellas, we need timelines. We need to decide, figure that out. But that helps alleviate a lot of the issues, the confusion, and the arguments when we both understood what needed to be done. Because at work, people give you timelines. No, you need to have X, Y, Z done by a certain time. So that we implemented that same type of conversation and thought process in the home.
But I honestly think I will work better with that because,
and
like they say, if you waiting on me to do something, you gonna
have
keep
that
waiting.
Timelines is cool. You gotta articulate it though.
Right? We didn't just write stuff on. No. I didn't just write it up there and hope he looked at it. I was like, hey, we're gonna have these done today.
But in this hypothetical situation that was brought up, it was just like, hey, can you do it?
Yeah.
When? Give me that timeline.
So, ladies, if you're listening,
give me the timeline.
Give a concrete time. I need it now.
I need it now. I need by 2.
We're like JG Wentworth. I need my cash money right now.
Exactly. Deadline me.
See, but why I feel H. Kane is because he's coming from a place I'm tired, like I'm physically exhausted.
Yeah.
So like coming like home,
this your house
I
too,
don't
though.
want to do it. Yes, but
and if she wasn't there, you would have to do it.
Yeah. So I think where like that helps is just having clear defined roles of what she wants you to do.
Listen,
like,
this magnetic
basis, like having that
scheduler is on Amazon for $7.
Here's the issue with that. Well,
have conversations. I'm helping you help y'all.
For people with kids and a wife, because I didn't forget y'all points. Not only are they at home with the kids, smoking, but not only
I ain't got the long cord.
Put it on the table.
I ain't got the long one, man.
Don't look at me like I interrupted you.
No, I'm waiting for them to be done.
They want to blow the hook too.
No, I'm good. No, but it goes from being, you hear mom.
Listen, I want to change my name. My name is no longer mom. You understand me? I don't want to hear now one mom again. My son come back tomorrow. I'm ready for it, but for like only a day.
You also add in wife.
Yep.
So she's no longer just mom. Now she's mom and wife.
Yeah. And can I just touch on the subject real quick? Them kids won't stop touching their mama, and sometimes I just don't want to fucking be touched. Leave me the fuck alone.
Okay, so like it wasn't until my kids got older that I realized that kids really be this on their mama like on their mama. No, that like Casey will walk up to me and like fight. It be like on some like, hey, I'll beat your ass.
My son,
but they be on their mama like this, mom. Mom. Like, they literally walk up to my wife and pull up her shirt and be like, Mom, you got nickels.
No, it's wild because like my daughter do that shit. Like she like the second my wife walk in the door, like my daughter is like stuck to her. She's 15.
It's too.
My 4-year-old still sleeps in the bed. And I caught him the other night massaging her feet, and I was looking like, damn, I don't even get
you up in it because you ain't shit.
I sit on the couch, and my son will have a toe.
I don't know how to break that.
My son will put a toe on my thigh just so I'm touching, and I'd be like, bro, sit on that side of the couch. No, mama, I want to be next to you. We got a 3-seater couch. He 3. We got plenty of space, honey.
We love our mama.
Yeah. And there's a mental play for that.
I mean, yeah,
I understand.
Like, yeah, but move, bro.
And then y'all wonder why we don't want y'all to touch. It's like, bro, I ain't had my body to myself all day.
Well, niggas do be filthy.
So then to go back to that point of mom and wife, then you also have, okay, now also tell me what to do.
We've been telling people what to do all day.
No. But you do have to think of these from that perspective because now you're asking her to be mom, to be wife, but also give me direction. When you walked out the door and seen the dishes, you walked out the door and you seen the trash, you already know. You don't have to be told exactly what to do because you see it.
I don't like how you talking right now because it's very triggering because my wife be like, if I seen it, you seen it. I be like, yeah, but you ain't telling me to move it.
No,
bro, that's not.
Knock it out, bro. Like even if you whatever you want to knock it out, sure, but knock it out because if there's too many times that she got to tell you, then it's an irritant. Because you tell her too many times to do something, it's an irritant.
And then now it's
but a drill sergeant gonna,
it's gonna be an argument.
You don't hear a drill sergeant complaining about giving orders.
And they, yes, the fuck you do. I heard the motherfuckers.
I know.
You can't say that to one nigga.
Hey, I tried to get it off. Hey, I tried to get it off.
To the one nigga that went
I gave you support. I said, oh God.
Oh, bro.
Real nigga activity.
What else did I want to ask y'all? You got something?
No, yeah, but I feel Tim because that was like the last big argument me and my wife had. We were arguing because she said she doesn't want to have to feel like a project manager in our house.
Yeah,
and she gotta work like that.
Yeah.
Man, say that again. A project manager in our own home.
But check this out.
Yeah, she already does like she does real estate. She has a full-time job. Like she doesn't want to have to feel like a project manager.
She's managing her shit,
man.
She's managing all
this. I feel that too, though. Like,
but then they tell you don't.
So in my house,
but if
like,
you start doing it,
ASAP, we broke down like everything, like chores wise. Like it was like
has to be done.
You gonna do this? I'm gonna do this. This is how we gonna break shit down.
Yeah.
So we stick to that, and we don't have these arguments.
What about like other shit outside of just cleaning, like just the roles of what who's supposed to do what?
I mean we. Like
outside because we taking it out of the cleaning,
taking the kids to school and shit,
yeah.
Like all of that shit. Like we talk about that shit beforehand. We set all of that shit up, like
who pays the bills, who does like.
In my last relationship, it was whoever's leaving out the house first. So we would talk at night, like what time we got to be at work, what time we do it, and then we decide whoever wasn't, that's who's gonna take the baby. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I take the kids and stuff. I mean, if you work from home, ain't no need for you to leave the house.
Facts.
But if she wants to leave the house,
mic up, son.
Think about it. You been at home all day. You been at work all day for 12 hours. You like, man, I can't wait to leave this motherfucker. Yeah.
True.
To get home. She wake up that motherfucker and see like, I can't wait to clock out to be at home. Yeah. To wait for you to get home to be at home. Yeah. To be with the kids all day at home. Yeah. Like she don't never get to leave home, so she really wants to get out the house. That's what I was trying to say. When going from working from home to going back indoors, I am a very conversational person.
Same.
Extreme extrovert, yeah, sure. Yeah. But I work that way. So if I need something done, I'm coming to see you.
Yeah.
It's easier to get the conversation done by picking up a phone or just come to tap you like, hey, this happened, I need this done, right? Working from home, again, it goes back to you have to wait on everything, but everything is already due.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything is already due. So you have to deal with all the mental shit at the crib. You're like, man, I just need to break. I just need to walk out the crib and get some fresh air or anything.
What do y'all do at work?
So we...
You can just back up. You ain't got to be so close.
So we build regulators, tanks, things that power businesses, neighborhoods, things like that.
So what if you were waiting on somebody for
a part,
like a part to continue the
process?
People
wait on us for the parts because we paint everything.
Yeah.
It's popping.
So let's say they don't give you that part, or you don't deliver your portion.
If we don't deliver the part, then they on our ass about it. But this is what I'm saying. I left a call center job. I was at Kohl's when the pandemic started. I bitched about us getting sent home.
Yeah.
Then they sent us home, and I was like, "This shit ain't for me. I gotta go."
Yeah.
You had to go back in person.
No,
You
they
needed to-
sent us home. So
you
I was doing.
you needed a job that wasn't at home. Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I loved my job at Kohl's. I loved what I was doing. I wanted to go home because it was the wave. I was like, shit, Spectrum deal with credit cards. They let their people go home. Why we can't go home? And then when I got home,
You were
I felt like I was
hell no.
in prison. I
Yeah.
was
And that's what she's
crazy.
going through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With the kids.
Exactly.
All day.
All day. All
With
day.
the kids. I mean, you say you drop them off at daycare, right?
My youngest, he's the problem child. My 9-year-old daughter, she's TikToking,
That's
YouTube
cool,
videos.
man.
True.
But she
still
still has
actually
wants. She
cool,
still
man.
needs lunch. She still has needs. She
Don't
still
let
may
him
have
talk
to go
bad
to the
about
bathroom.
Don't let him talk bad
Listen,
about his son. His son is a
I
cool guy.
100%.
Keep my dude. Where my boy dude?
He's a cool guy.
I 100%
man.
hide in the bathroom just to have a break. So
Also,
sometimes
yeah.
that just laying on the bed is just like the most you time you gonna get.
Yeah.
And I get your perspective because my son's father used to work from home and I didn't, and I felt the same way. Like, why couldn't you just load the dishwasher right before you walk down to the basement?
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm playing a video game real quick, and that's another point of contention for me.
I just think we need more
We'll
structure.
get that online.
Hey, when I'm in Verdansk, leave me alone.
I can't pause.
Hey, when I'm in Verdansk,
Listen,
I'm at war.
Hey,
Leave me
I can't
alone.
find
I can't pause the game.
the dishes need to get done.
So,
Give me 30.
Fuck them dishes. Niggas is trying to kill me.
what do you do for a break?
You gonna eat?
No, what do
I need
you
to
do?
cook. Watch this kid.
What do you do for a break?
Yeah.
What do I do for a break?
Outside of hiding in the
How do you
bathroom.
decompress?
Besides-
How do you decompress? That's a great question. How do you
That's a good
decompress?
question. Since I am the sole provider physically of my child, there's not much. But I like to go out and like I'm a bruncher, right? Like I like to go out, eat, have dinner, like have good conversation.
Yeah.
So that's not something that can be immediate.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Motherfucker.
He like to play the
He
game.
likes to play the game.
He like to play the game.
Hey, y'all don't know y'all. See, y'all don't know y'all like y'all think y'all know y'all.
His mental
I know
break is the
y'all.
game.
Okay.
So I do have a question for men. Like, do we feel like we have a way to decompress outside of like actual playing the game?
Niggas getting in that mental health bag.
Listen,
Bro, what do you do?
So, I'm about to say, y'all know me, so I'll just. Sometimes I'll just throw my shit out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes because
he didn't call you.
and I'll just throw my shit like, hey, yo, I'm going through this, or I got this going on, hey, I'm thinking about this, or whatever the case may be, right? And
I got a quick question.
to an extent, I had to take a step back
Yeah.
because I was like, that's a bit rude on my end because not everybody's just ready for dealing with nothing nigga shit.
Yeah.
right.
But I also feel like I have the type of friends who are receptive when I bring my issues. Whether you joking or not, whether you're serious or not, at some point you do touch on what my issue is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I know that regardless of what we're talking about, at some point if I'm going through some shit, I'm gonna just throw it out there.
Yeah, Tim is the
He's the
person-
exact opposite.
I fuck with Tim, 'cause Tim sent me an audio message for my birthday, fam. Like,
Me
that's
and
the type of person he is.
Me and Tim
call me every
are
day.
literally like
Like-
polar opposites, bro.
definitely-
Tim
And
called
so-
me.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
And so
he's-
you're the type
he's
that'll
that type
dump
of
it
person.
out on a video game for hours.
no, like I don't say shit.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie.
Say shit.
Sometimes after a hard day of work where I can't really
I got
cuss
a good
nobody
question
the
after
fuck
this.
out like I
Like-
want to. Yes, it feels good to kill some niggas and make some kids
Right.
call
Yeah,
me a
but
nigger.
see,
or
I don't have the opportunity, the option, or the luxury to be on disconnected for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time.
Yeah.
That's a long ass
it's
time,
because
boy.
it
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
depending on like what age, if you do have children, where they at. Like when my son was younger and I was nurturing him and nursing him, like. I really had a schedule. I had shit to do, but my son's father's downstairs for 2 hours playing video games. Like, my guy, like I am literally a human cow. I want 2 hours to myself, but physically that's not available to me.
What you want him doing that moment?
Oh, because
I'm
because
helping
of the
out
milk.
around the house.
Oh, so that's happening in the house.
I
now.
see what you
Okay.
did there.
Moo.
But that mental break
I'm a
also
cow.
includes his did he used to play with his friends online?
He was a professional gamer, so it was a little bit different.
That's a little bit different. Professional means money. That's a little bit different.
No, because he would hide under the guys. He would hide under the guys I'm practicing. I mean, he has to wait. But that wasn't his only job. That wasn't his main stream of income. It was an additional income.
It's a nice addition.
Not that much.
Professional.
Not that much.
That wasn't that much.
Yeah, ain't that much.
You can't hear you. Say something.
Hello.
Oh, there you go.
You
I'm about to say he been popping in and out.
Yeah, that's why I told him you ain't got.
Maybe you too close to Seth because he said he weren't loud, but listen, you are a loud podcaster.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's gone again.
Yeah, his shit in and out like I'm on.
But yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
not that
ask a
much
question
money.
before I fix this. how do y'all? How do you come? Damn, how can I don't want to say it in sound. What's not? Like when you want to say that your spouse is wrong, and you want to communicate that without
starting a fight.
Yes.
Listen, don't start it. Let me just say this, and this goes to Q. I love you, Q, but listen, your I disagree are fucking triggering. Yeah. Don't hit me with a fucking I disagree. Hey, even listening to the pod,
I disagree.
When he says I disagree, I am so on defense, and I'm not even in the room.
Yeah.
So don't start with that.
That I disagree or something. I just think that what you're doing is wrong.
No, you can talk about your perspective. Like for me as a woman, I enjoy if you start a conversation like, hey, this is my perspective on the situation, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And talk to you about how you feel about what I'm doing versus telling me what I'm doing is wrong.
Yeah.
So
that's what
because
it is.
My perspective, I'm
and
not
it really
doing
don't
something
even be
wrong.
saying that you're wrong. It's just,
it's not agreeable.
I don't agree with what you're doing. No, it ain't. No, you're wrong.
It goes back.
You're wrong,
bro. At the end of the day, like,
because when I'm wrong, you're able to let me know that I'm wrong in that moment. So why wouldn't
you got a tippy toe, bro?
But why should I have to?
I'm gonna drop a gem. I'm about to drop a gem that women are not gonna like. Women are narcissists. We want things our way.
I know it.
And we want it.
But y'all don't want to admit that
when
I know
that my way is wrong, right?
They will not say they're wrong, bro.
No, you're not gonna get.
That's the impossible task.
You're not gonna get. I'm wrong, and you probably ain't gonna get. I'm sorry.
My wife said I'm sorry once, bro. She hit me with a I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
She said, "I'm not." She said, "No." She hit me with a "I'm sorry," bro. I was like, "You know what? I'll take it." No, because why? Because women, for some reason, will fight it too. Even if they're wrong, they'll change it to the point to where it's still gonna be you, bro. Like that's why you have to say sorry all the time.
But it also depends on the situation and what the topic is. Like if she's doing something, dude, that she's really passionate about, or she felt in her heart that she's spent a good amount of time and energy and effort into this one thing, you got to tread lightly with that because it turns into like a passion.
But she was wrong,
bro.
I understand.
I'm not gonna say the specific.
Right, of course not. I wouldn't let you.
It was a thing of you were blatantly wrong. She even admitted that she was wrong. She admitted that she was wrong.
That's her. I'm sorry, bro.
Stood on it.
Okay, if she stood on it, did you ask? Did you start asking?
You can't.
So I'm gonna say, where's the buck come from?
I know.
Did
you guys try to figure out like how to make it better?
I haven't talked to her since.
So in these situations, hold up. In these situations, bro, like
what's going on?
For me, in these situations, like tread really lightly. Don't say you're wrong, fam. Like that's not gonna help you. That's not gonna help you. Like I just offer perspective. Like I like to be like, all right, look, like you can think or like do whatever it is that you're doing, but this is how it looks.
Listen, I'm the type of person that you're not gonna bring me a problem or say I'm wrong and not offer a solution. So if you didn't offer a solution or a different perspective on it or how I could have done something, that's a solution to me too. But if I'm going to continue to say that I'm right because you're not offering any solutions to my wrong.
But that's not any more right.
That's not.
That don't make you any more right though.
Nor when you point out that we're wrong, you offer solutions. No,
most
you
of the
just
time,
say you wrong. You should no. You hit them with a shoulda, woulda, couldas,
and the couldas is the solution.
Shoulda, woulda, couldas is after the fact. Women are called in hindsight.
No,
women are called in hindsight.
Coulda is a solution right there. No, you coulda did this.
Coulda is in hindsight.
No, it's in the situation in the moment.
No, so
you're wrong.
How many times when was the last time you told somebody they was wrong and offered the solution in the exact same breath?
That's my personality. I'm in sales. That's what I used to do.
No, you are rare.
I do sales. My job is to find a solution to a problem.
Because most of the time, a solution isn't offered when somebody's telling somebody they're having an issue. They may give you advice or they may give you, hey, I think you should do it like this. But a lot of times, people have hindsight to like, man, damn, if you did that, I would have did like this. Or, damn, you're wrong because you're doing it like this. Not at the same time, I'm going to allow you, or for me, I allow you to just go ahead and be wrong. Because just because you're going to be wrong.
Just let me go.
No, I'll let you be wrong, but then after the fact,
you got too damn near sometimes on the low.
See, my problem is that I won't offer solutions until you accept that you're wrong. Like, you're not going to accept any solution I have until you actually...
Have you tried that, though? Not everyone's like that.
The impossible task is admitting that you're wrong. Until you can admit that you're wrong.
Why would you accept the solution?
To me, unless I know that there's a better way or a different way, I'm going to continue to just be on my own.
How can you accept it if you're not wrong?
Yeah,
if you're not
because
wrong,
you're not offering a solution
it's
to
not
my
a solution
wrong.
to you if it's not wrong.
Yeah.
No, if you tell me, hey, I think you did this wrong.
You're wrong right now. You ain't admitting
No, I'm not wrong. Because if I'm tying my shoe in a way that's not productive, and you tell me you're tying my shoe wrong, I'm gonna say, but the fucking shoe is tied. But if you say, hey, you're wrong with tying your shoes, let me show you a better way, I'm gonna be more perspective.
So how is that
like,
wrong if it's
damn,
wrong?
I'm
If it's
wrong.
no, that's not right.
That's more perspective. Like if
Right.
it's something where you're clear cut wrong, like you said, oh, I didn't say that. and
Did you offer
just
the
got
reasons
done
why I was
saying that.
wrong?
But that's what I'm saying. No, she doubled down on, I said that.
And
I
I'm
was
wrong.
and I'm standing on it.
There's no but after that.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation
There's
can
no
no, but
solution
you
to
do
offer.
still have to have the conversation.
But that's
And
and
99
we haven't had the
You're
conversation
going to be
yet.
the bigger person and have to have the conversation.
But why
Who's
should
the
I
best
always
communicator?
That's the rough part.
Me, fam, come on. I do a
Okay.
podcast every week.
I hear you, but you know, some people are great communicators too. So
It's kind of hard
You, bro, that's not a fair question.
why not?
Because you always gonna say you. Hey,
No, because we're old enough to now admit that what your faults are.
but I
would be
didn't
that.
used to be that. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. I didn't used to be the person that communicated, but in growing up and that being the barrier from taking it to that next level is because you don't communicate. You don't say how you feel. You don't communicate.
any situation.
And in this one, I was overly
In
communicating.
these situations, do you look at where you could have been wrong and communicate that?
No,
to
no, I do.
before,
I definitely do. I
because
definitely do. I take
doing that before like offering criticism or critique on somebody else is always valuable.
Fam,
Like,
I used to say, fam, I apologize so many
I'm
times.
saying, so,
apologize and say that I'm wrong in this situation.
So I want
And
to. I bring up
apologize.
something super specific,
and I'm going to try to do better.
I bring up something super specific and something that everybody in here said knows about. Like,
Yeah.
so when we came back from Houston, I was in
No,
my
no,
house for
yeah.
it, right? Like, I'm like, we got in the car. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's dead in here. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She wouldn't say shit,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, it was on me to just kind of like figure out what the fuck did you do, dude?
Yeah.
Right? Didn't figure it out, but like I just kept asking. She's like, "Bro, you went on the podcast, said you wasn't gonna call me, didn't call me." I was like,
So I got to internalize it.
so I gotta look at where it is that I fucked up, and be like, don't be like, nigga, you knew I wasn't gonna call. It's my birthday. I went out here.
type
You
shit,
like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, she's at home with the kids,
Yeah.
chilling, trying to like call me on my birthday to be like nice and shit. Like,
You could have called.
Yeah.
nigga, I know at this point, fuck, it's fucking
Hindsight.
June. Yeah.
That's all it really
But
is.
like looking and trying to figure out where you could have did better is always, I think, helpful. Is what I'm saying.
Definitely.
It's
Y'all agree with me? I'm right.
100.
Y'all wrong? I'm right.
I feel you, bro.
Man, I don't.
I lost my train of thought. I definitely had something, but I completely lost my train of thought.
You always have to look inward. Like I feel like that's something that is lost
gotta-
when you arguing in a moment because especially if you're not the aggressor in the argument. Like, let's say she's pressing you, then it's like you automatically get defensive. Like you automatically go into defense mode. You automatically think like, hey, like how was I wrong, or how was I not wrong? How was like this situation not my fault? But in all honesty, you just need to accept what they're saying, like take in what they're saying, like really evaluate it, and then because they're coming from a place that where they feel is the truth, regardless of whether it's the truth or not.
I think you need to
so check
really
it out.
understand the art of communication too, right? Like if I'm an aggressive person when I'm arguing, you need to understand when to walk away.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with a lot of that. And a lot of what y'all saying. A lot of this shit is basically situational.
Right.
The person you're dealing with, you just got to know the person you're dealing with. The problem with some people, you just have to know that some folks are going to stand on their wrongs even when they're wrong. I hate people like that because it's like, yo, all I need you to do is say you understand you're wrong and leave it at that, but we got to move past it.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you're going to stand on it, know you're wrong and still stand on it, this is no longer argument. You just want to be ignorant to the fact. It's a stubborn thing. So at that point, I understand where Dooch is coming from. He's like, dog, like because now I feel like I have to stand on it because at some point you get a couple things. You get tired of being a bigger person. You get tired of having to say that you're wrong even though you're not.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of at that point where I don't argue. See,
I don't
what
either.
pisses my wife off in the house, she'll snap. I'll look her dead in her face and be like, yup, you got it. I'm wrong. because no matter what I say,
you're gonna be wrong.
It's gonna sound like an excuse.
Yeah.
And don't give me no excuses. Well, then you don't really want me to say shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying shit and just accepting my fuck up. Hey, sorry for being wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't say nothing. But it's like sometimes when you're silence sometimes is
it's
worse.
They hate it.
They hate it because I'm silent because I don't want to argue with you, and I don't feel like it. I don't feel like arguing a point that's gonna end in me being more wrong any fucking way.
So, here's my one thing: is that something you willing to die on? Is that the cross you willing to die on? Is this situation? And that's sometimes what I always look back at, right? Like when the argument is done, and I know I'm wrong, and I maybe need to apologize, and I haven't. I sit there and I say, is this the cross I want to die on? Is this the argument that I wanted to end all be all?
Yeah.
And is this situation where I was wrong the reason why this is going to end? And that's the introspective part too of like, if you're the person that understands that she is wrong or he is wrong, are you willing to die so you could be right?
Yeah.
Are you willing to end this so you could be right?
But it ain't no thing of me wanting to be right. I just want it to be right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want.
He just want to move past it with the admittance of her being wrong,
and let's try to figure it out and move past it. Because I've done plenty of shit, fam.
The admittance
and I can never
of wrongdoing is the barrier here that is going to be hard to get to.
Yeah.
So I asked you who's the better communicator in the beginning because the person typically who's the better communicator can kind of relay what they need to talk about better. So granted, you may be pissed.
I'm not even pissed.
Or y'all haven't talked.
Yeah, we just haven't talked. I am disappointed.
Yeah.
You as a person that
absolutely.
Because you think that a person feels a certain way.
I love you, girl.
And fam, we've done a lot of shit. Like I really genuinely fuck with her, and I genuinely love her. Like, and to think that person, they wouldn't attempt to try to see how I felt. Get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't see it my way. Like
you're not trying to see this perspective.
They're not even considering you, basically.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like it don't even matter. Like I understand I'm wrong and I'm standing on it. Like
is it
so I can't do that. As a man, we can't do that.
We cannot.
I can't be like, no, you wrong, and I'm standing on it. Like
I can stand on it for like a day.
Like you don't stand long.
You don't give in.
No, you don't stand
to give in.
And you still want to say sorry.
Exactly.
That's why I was stating before.
That's what I'm saying. Like I always have to say I'm sorry.
But sometimes you just gotta eat that shit and just send a text message like, baby, I love you.
How much I'm gonna eat?
I mean, I don't know the situation, so I can't say how much to eat.
Y'all level of communication.
Yeah.
Like you saying that y'all communicate really well. So I feel like if you were able to, can you pick up the phone and call today and she'll answer?
Yeah, for sure.
So some things are better.
I think we
talked out.
How long has it been?
Monday. It's Monday.
Today's what?
Friday.
Bro, call your girl, bro.
I was gonna say hit her with the baby.
Has it been worth sitting on it for 5 days?
Call her.
I will.
Like
and just to be like, baby, I love you. We need to figure this out and move forward.
But the thing is, bro,
sometimes we want to hear it.
Wait, the worse it gets. Like,
the thing is, bro,
the worse it gets, the more hurt we start to feel.
The thing
like,
is,
why didn't you fight for me? Why didn't you fight with me?
Women can stand in this shit forever, bro.
I know it's coming, dog.
Women can stand in this shit forever, bro. I know this shit from my wife, bro. Like, we live in the same fucking house in the same 2-bedroom spot.
Yeah.
And like, we went like a week without talking, and it was because she was wrong about some shit and didn't want to say nothing.
See, I can't do that, brother. I'm right or I'm wrong.
And I was like,
and that's how I feel now, dog. Like, even if I'm right or if I'm wrong, I still need to. We still have to.
Someone's got to be the bigger person here, dude.
So that's how I am.
You gotta be as much as you don't want to be. You got to. I know.
And you just got to be the bigger person.
I know.
It's maturity, bro. So the maturity is doing a lot of shit you just don't want to do.
Like, honestly, you know how many times I've done typed up a message and like, nah, I can't say that.
I got a few messages in my notes.
You're gonna have to talk to her. You're gonna have to be the one to initiate the conversation, and you're gonna have to be the one that relays. And honestly, you're gonna have to be the one to balance the conversation.
Bro, the phone call is probably all it's gonna take, bro.
You gotta call.
That call might be like, hello.
Can I wait it out?
No,
you waited long enough, man.
Right, bro.
You need to go like there and do that shit.
Like, man, if you want to sleep on it as well. one thing and shit. Cause some people need time, but y'all done slept, y'all done ate, y'all just got up and ran out the door and shit.
It's totally wrong because that's the only communication that she.
And granted, it's not just only you; it goes both ways.
No, I get it.
Because she can initiate too.
Come on now.
So I'm not just only attacked because again, communication. Communication is a two-way street, and I'm not saying she's not going to do it though. And you can beat that to a dead horse.
Again, it goes back. Is this the hill you want to die on?
Is that it?
And I know it's not.
Can I think about it?
You've been thinking about it. How much more thinking you need, Giannis?
Bro, listen, dude. We wouldn't be in this room if you wasn't making that call.
Jones like 75 times.
Hey,
I watched that shit like a million times this week.
if you wasn't gonna make that call, we wouldn't be here right now.
Right, we'd be talking about clothes.
We would start with the other part.
No. Now we can get into the other part.
Where's the bitch?
Bring me the ice.
We can start winding this one down.
Just call her, bro. Like, and again, you're gonna have to be the one that lead the conversation. No matter if you're right or wrong, you're just gonna have to be like, listen, and say exactly what you just told us. I love you. I want this shit to work out, but we have to talk about this shit
and move forward.
But you have to.
I'm with
hit it with the and move forward because that's important.
And besides time I walked that.
There's some ice. Oh, the ice is in the freezer.
Me and my wife was talking about that.
It's in the freezer.
Just saying that we would. I don't want to have an argument or a conversation.
Put a big ass amount in here.
Keep on.
I don't want to have a conversation or argument unless we can move on from it. Like it has to be a progressive conversation.
Yeah.
So if you're mad, I've stopped before. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna let you calm down.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but I'm not the type to. So it's a double-edged sword with that. Yeah. I'll let her go calm down, but I also have my own expectation of how long it should take you to calm down.
Exactly.
That's a problem too.
Yeah.
Because I have a question though.
If I'm gonna give you, hold on. If I'm gonna give you a second to argue, if I'm gonna give you a second to calm down, but I expect you to calm down within an hour,
Okay.
That's not fair. People do that. No, people do that.
Bro, you can't tell nobody when to fucking
That's what I'm saying.
But that's the conversation that people hold inside. They don't say out loud. They were like, "Oh man, damn, it's taking you all. How long do you need to think about this shit?" Like now we're like, "Damn, how long do you really need?" But for you still probably feel like you need to. Or we're telling you taking too long. It's the exact same thing.
He's not like I don't think that's what it is. I think with Ducci's situation currently, like, and correct me if I'm wrong. Right now, he just feels like, bro, like you can do that too. Like she can make that call too.
My question is, how did it end? The conversation that led to this, was it like a hang up?
No, it was in person.
Oh, it was in person.
Wait,
it was a what?
Was in Houston, bro.
It was in person.
and you just walked away, and you just got on the flight and left it like that.
Did you learn though you made it home safe?
Sheesh.
No.
Bro, yeah. Y'all true.
I made a status.
You could have said something.
I didn't make a status,
Bro.
You could have
No, I'm
said
saying
something.
like you done did something online to let her know you're safe.
I know you pissed, but
Not really.
if you really
As a woman, I'm gonna just say this: if you're willing to save that, hit it with the baby. We need to talk, and I want to move forward. But we need to address this. If that's what you really want to do. If you don't, then let that shit fucking fester.
Can I think about it though? I cannot think about it. Is what y'all saying?
You know, if you're thinking about it as a way,
Can I weigh my options?
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not ready yet.
If you're waiting because you also want to make sure you know what you're saying and it's correct and it's genuine, then absolutely.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
if you're waiting to think about whether or not this is worth saving, let it go.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure what I'm saying is clear, and I want to make sure that it's the right decision that I want to make. Like
that makes sense.
I guess my perspective is coming
I'm
from
just
a married
saying
perspective.
if you're thinking about like whether should I stay or should I
Is that the
go?
hill I want to die on? That's a.
You want to know what?
I don't need to want to think about.
You know
that.
what Deuce still has the luxury of doing?
What?
Leaving.
Right, that's what I'm saying. From a married perspective, from a married perspective,
The question
like,
is,
you really can't.
Is it that serious?
That's why.
But that's what I'm saying. Can I think about? I have to think about
I mean, yeah,
But you can't
always can.
Man.
Like,
we feel like we should have hit her because, again, from our married perspective, we can't leave the house without, or we can't go a day or two.
that's
really
a fact.
without.
I live with
Like, so our perspective is gonna be from the married point where
that's why I brought y'all in here.
Like, we can't go a day. I couldn't go 2, 3. I couldn't go a day without saying anything to her. Even no matter how mad I am, no matter how pissed we are.
Yeah.
You can't go a day
Thank you.
without saying anything.
Okay, I see what you're
Like,
saying.
you could have still hit it with the, "Hey, I made it safe."
Yeah.
hey, like
over there,
you can
fam?
still say hi. You could have said
What
anything,
you on
but
over there, dog?
I'm trying to see if
figure it
it's
out.
working in my back.
yeah,
You don't know
they trying to figure it out.
You ain't-
No, I don't.
The
And
thing in the
it's
middle,
broke.
it
It's
brings
broke.
it
It's
down,
broke. So I'm gonna need you. It's
here
broke.
we go,
But I do want to say this because I've been listening because I couldn't do shit else. Dude, you almost definitely have to reach out to her.
There
I
you
think
go.
as a man, I'm a Pisces, so I love hard and I overthink sometimes.
I'm a Virgo,
And when
I
my
get
girl
that.
hears this,
I'm
I'm physically gonna go home and apologize to her because I do take for granted what she goes through on a daily. And just because I think I work my ass off, I take for granted what she does. But
Leo,
Look at
as
it.
your,
Look at
my
it.
name is Seth.
Dooch, as your brother, I know how you feel. I've had to eat crow a lot because I don't like realizing when I'm wrong, but she don't like when she's wrong either.
Please.
You most definitely got to reach out because you really care. We all know you care.
Yeah.
We know we've heard the podcast. We
think
know
that's
y'all
why-
care.
She knows you care. I think that's why, like, I'm like, bro, just call her, because I know.
But
I
you know,
like,
I
that
hear
you
where he's
give a
coming
fuck.
from
But I
too,
do-
because you want to make sure you come correct too, right?
I
Like
just want to
you
make
just,
sure
you wanna come
If I
correct.
make that decision, I'm gonna make that
How many
But
decision.
you
times have
don't
you
want her
started?
thinking that you overthink you thinking different about the relationship
Yeah.
either because it's been almost
I mean, this
what
will come
5
out-
days.
it's a work week.
Yeah.
working.
And y'all ain't heard from each other, so she probably like, is this nigga like fuck me now or something?
right.
Like just any communication. Like I
I
said,
mean-
and it's not just you.
I mean,
it goes both ways.
But
Yeah,
the thing
hold
is, and that's what it is for real, like, because we can say that that's what she thinking, but truthfully, that could be what he thinking.
Yeah,
like, bro,
I
like,
don't know.
like,
I love you. You supposed to love me too.
yeah,
Exactly.
Reciprocate. You know what I'm saying? But
facts.
you can't.
You supposed to love me too, right?
The fact is, y'all both know y'all love each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So that
For
should
sure.
never be a question.
That's true.
But because y'all actually questioning
she's gonna
each
hate this
other,
part. I want y'all to know that.
she probably will. But at the same time,
No, she probably gonna.
y'all
she
both
gonna get
absolutely
serious. I'm
love
saying she's
each
gonna.
other. Like, y'all
Call this
absolutely
man.
love each other though.
Listen, baby girl, call this man.
For sure.
She'll probably hate it because he's talking about it.
Look at that. Yeah, she's gonna hate it because I'm
But-
talking
Oh
about
my
it.
god.
That's true.
But I
That's
didn't go into detail, so she should be alright.
But
Oh my
Y'all still
God.
know exactly what y'all
I
beef
talked about
was.
the good time. Why I can't talk about the bad time?
You can talk about
Talk
anything.
Talk about it with us
Hey,
before
this
you talk about
therapy,
it with
man.
her.
Ain't
You
we
can talk about
lucky
anything.
we got it?
I might have to put this behind the
No, bro, you
I might have to put
good.
this behind the
Yeah,
paper.
the music will be
This
the whole
is
time.
front wall because you ain't like I said you ain't giving out no details and it's not like you on here like
I'm just asking
this
questions.
bitch.
No,
Let
I
me
would
tell
never.
you,
I would never. I would
Right,
never.
Bro,
So
you
it's
ain't
not.
doing
never.
You're
ain't
not
doing
saying
nothing
it
but-
again. It's not coming from a disrespectful place.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
I
I'm saying?
mean, you remember my first pod when I gave mag to my current
Yeah, you
situation.
definitely did. Definitely
We
did.
didn't do that here, so yeah, I mean, no pay was needed.
Do say. Appreciate it. All right, well. Anybody? Y'all got
I done
anything?
started drinking.
We good.
So
man.
guess what?
Let's get to- let's
It's
get
Seth
to
and the
this.
sweats in this
Yeah,
bitch.
man.
Yeah, shout out to
That was just
everybody,
Seth.
Get their socials.
Just come from a place of understanding.
No,
This nigga still on it.
No, because I
He trying to
really
close up.
want to just give you some advice because it took a lot in the pandemic. A lot of people realized either they want to be with a person or they didn't,
Right.
and a lot of people broke up. A lot of people got divorced. A lot of people got together.
That's real.
But you, in that time frame, you should have spent a lot of time communicating. Me and my wife did a lot of communicating. We still got to work on some more, but
Yeah.
it's mostly my fault. But we did a lot of communicating, and in that, we learned how to argue.
Yeah, okay.
So when you learn how to argue, you have to learn. Okay, you know, for example, you said you're an aggressive arguer.
Yes, that's why I don't argue.
No, but you understand that you're an aggressive
Yeah.
arguer.
I absolutely will make you hate yourself.
So
That's why I don't argue.
So the question is, if you understand that, work on it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't argue. I
No,
don't.
But coming from a place
I
of
like your boy.
understanding,
Yeah, I've
Hey,
learned
hey,
that through trials and tribulations not to do it, and that's my
but
understanding
you won't
of my
argue at all.
at all.
Will you talk?
Yes, if we're getting to the point where we're starting to argue, I've got to disengage. We need to pause this
fuck with that.
conversation
Do you
and move.
disengage respectfully or
Yes,
disrespectfully?
this conversation has gotten to a point where I need to disengage.
But this
fuck
all
with
applies
that.
to you still.
No, I fuck with
Because you have to be able to, if you can come correct, like you're saying, receive respectfully as well.
Yeah.
So but
That's the old
wish
y'all.
it-
The old y'all Seth was talking
wish you the
about.
best of
I
luck.
love you, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody go say your socials, where you from, pod socials, all that good stuff.
I don't have a pod.
But you have a
yeah.
business.
So I'm Yaya, also known as Yahira. You guys can follow my business page. It's Wisconsin's Best Cleaning Co. On Instagram, on Facebook. The website is wisconsinsbestcleaningco.com. If you need any type of commercial or residential cleanings, I'm your girl.
You say you on IG?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that after.
And Twitter?
No, I stay off Twitter.
I'm on Twitter all the time.
All right,
I gotta stay off the tweets.
Here we go.
Hey, bro.
What you got?
I'm Isaiah Dub from the Elements Podcast. Instagram is Everyday Dub. Twitter Isaiah Dub.
Okay.
Hey, it's Nick Beasy from the Elements Podcast. Instagram is NickB414. You won't find me on Facebook. Please don't find me on Twitter.
Yo, Seth, Sweats and Suits Podcast, Seth and the motherfucking Sweats. But if you want to follow me on my personal page, it's Seth Daddy _62.
This guy.
Get out your low register.
First of all, hold on, time out. Hold on, time out. This nigga gonna make me go to my high voice. Nah, hey man, let me get my shit off, bro. Damn, he did his.
No, yeah, get your
So
shit
get
off.
me.
No,
You know
get your shit off.
Appreciate you,
Do
King.
you.
Thank you, King.
Always, man.
What is
man,
happening?
So again, if y'all want to follow me personally, Seth Daddy 62 _ 62. And Seth, you know, Seth and the Sweats and Suits Podcast, man. Sweats the letter N, Suits Podcast. Find me wherever you find the motherfucking podcast, bitch.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum.
You bitch, you.
A.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me.
Fucker.
You loud as hell.
You can find me on the Instagram and the Twitter at Technical Foul is our name. Sports is our game.
Yeah, bitch. My bad. Sorry. I felt like that needed a bitch.
Oh, that's TECK. Don't forget to put the K on that motherfucker.
HK over there struggling.
Yeah, he is HK.
I didn't grab it. It fell as soon as you walked
Hey,
away.
well, HK, what's your
There you go. Hey, it's HK414 Instagram. No Limitations Podcast. I haven't set up the page. I'm behind. I'm gonna need my brother's help, but No Limitations is the podcast. Check it out, SoundCloud, wherever you can find it. It was most definitely a pleasure being around everybody.
Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, dude, hit that.
Nah, hold on.
Hit that motherfucking button.
What
Hold it for a second.
you gotta say, and I'm douche. Like, what,
Everybody did theirs?
yeah.
Yes, sir. We just forgot. And
Nah,
I'm
and I'm everyday dude across the board. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group. I'm about to work on the podcast page, and then shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to everybody.
I'm dead ass gonna change my name to Everyday Y'all.
I fuck with that. Hold on, I can't hear you.
Yeah, sure. And fucking with all that.
No, wasn't that fucking with?
Oh yeah, y'all can't hear me.
Yeah, never mind.
Hold on, I got you.
Yeah,
I
bro.
need that on a hat though. I'm gonna make it official.
Everyday y'all.
Oh shit. I need a hat.
Everyday.
Oh, I need an everyday.
I'm gonna leave my
dub
shit
hat,
on there.
bro.
I'm gonna leave my shit on my hair.
Can you
like
guys hear me now?
Yeah, we good.
All right. I was saying I'm a dead ass change my name to Everyday Y'all. I done
Everybody- I fuck with
been.
that.
I've been on enough pods with y'all.
Nah, you definitely have.
Yeah, I'm everyday NAB on Cash App.
Change it to
Every day
Everyday.
with a small dub.
But I need one with Everyday Y'all
we
on the
make
side.
it happen.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that's been listening. Thank you for the support. We're gonna continue to have conversations like these. We're about to do another one that we're gonna probably
With
put
the
behind.
bitches.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that behind the paywall. So be looking out for that, and thank you.